Hey guys, Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about the brand new Tarte and ASPYN OVARD palette that was just released today. So if you want to see a swatches, a demo, and hear my thoughts on the palette, keep watching. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos. All right, let's get into it. First of all, I think ASPYN is stunning. And I just love her style and her makeup, so I was really excited because Tarte is one of my very favorite high-end makeup brands. So when I saw that they were collaborating, I knew that I was going to need this palette. And then I saw the packaging of it. This is the outer carton, and it's just this really pretty girly floral, and I love it. I think that if I was gonna design a palette, this is what it would look like. So it's really pretty rosy packaging, it's metallic-y, and then on the back, it just has a photo of ASPYN and then just like a little note about her. And then if you open it up, this is what the palette looks like. I think that this is so pretty. Again, it has floral and it says ASPYN OVARD and then Tarte, and then the back is just plain copper. If you open it up, it does have a clasp and it's really heavy duty packaging. It has a gigantic mirror. This is the biggest, nicest mirror that I've gotten in a Tarte palette before, which this is the biggest palette I think I've gotten to. And then it has a blush, a highlight, and 9 eyeshadows. So I'm gonna go through every shade with you guys, show you swatches, all of that. As far as packaging, I give this an A+++++. I love it. I think that it's absolutely stunning. I wanted to compare this palette to a couple of the other Tarte palettes that I have. Those ones are only eyeshadow, but I still just wanted to see how it compared to how much product you get and how much it costs. So this one is $39. It comes with the 9 eyeshadow colors and then the 2 face colors. So there's 18 grams worth of product in here, and it equals out to be $1.62 per gram. And then I have 2 of the Tartelette palettes, the Tartelette in Bloom and the original Tartelette palette. So these ones come with 12 shadows. And this is the most similar packaging I have to the ASPYN one, just because it does have a big mirror and then it does have that clasp close. So these ones retail for $46. There is 18 grams worth of product in each of these palettes, and the price per gram is $2.55. I think I may have said in the ASPYN palette that it was 18 grams. It's 18.5 grams. So if I misspoke, sorry. But yeah, so this one is $2.55 per gram, and again, the ASPYN one is $1.62 per gram. And then lastly is the Tarte Maneater 2 palette. This one I have been absolutely loving recently. I've been using it a ton. It has a magnetic closure, and this is that cardboardy packaging. It does have a mirror. This one has 9 shades, and there are 9 grams in this palette, and it retails for $30. So this one is $3.33 per gram. Personally, I think this one is the easiest one to travel with just because it is the smallest. So in comparison, this one obviously is kind of just missing. This one has 9 shades, this one has 12, so it's missing a row of shades. And then compared to the ASPYN palette, the ASPYN one is quite a bit larger. So I do think that it's amazing that this one is $1.62 per gram. Again, it does have face shades in it, so I don't know if they take that into account. But either way, it seems like a pretty good value for your money. This is a limited edition palette, and you can get it at tartecosmetics.com or at Ulta, which I will link it down below in the bottom bar in case you are interested in it. They did have it in store, which a lot of times Ulta doesn't have things in store right away, so I was happy that they did have it. When I do reviews, I usually like to try out a product over an amount of time before I come on and make a video about them. But this one, I did want to make a first impression review video because it's not a product like foundation that you have to see if it's going to break you out, or a primer to see if it has benefits, and skincare obviously you have to use for weeks and weeks before you know if it actually works or not. So there's a lot of products that I like to wait and see how they wear. But with products like blush and highlight and eyeshadows, you can tell right away if you're gonna like them or not. So I did want to get this video up for you guys and do a first impression. If you want me to do a follow-up video on this, I'd be more than happy. Just let me know down below in the comments. I'd be happy to make that for you. And I'd also love to do another look for you. Obviously I did this look today, so I can switch it up and do another look if you guys are interested in that as well. So let's hop into the swatches, and then I will do the demo of how I applied my makeup today. Starting out, I'm going to go across the top row. So we've got Brilliance, High School Sweetheart, and Endless Summer. So Brilliance is a soft champagne luster, and then High School Sweetheart is a nude matte. Let's see if we can build that one up a little bit more. And then Endless Summer, this one is really pigmented. It's a golden champagne luster. And then in the second row we have Santorini Sands, Heart of Gold, and Road Trip. So Santorini Sands is not really showing up. It is a light tan matte. Heart of Gold is a bronze luster. This one is so pigmented. And then we have Road Trip, which is a matte brown. And that one is pretty pigmented too. A lot of mattes aren't very pigmented, so that one definitely is. As you can see, the Road Trip does have some fallout. You can see it kind of crumbling right there. But a lot of really pigmented shadows will have that, so I'm not too worried about it. And then in the last row, we have Married Life, Tea Time, and Wanderlust. So Married Life is a cream matte. It's also not really showing up that well. And then we have Tea Time, which is a warm matte brown. And then Wanderlust is a copper brown luster. I think all of the luster shades are really nice and pigmented. I'm also impressed with the two brown matte shades. Some of the other ones are not that impressive to me. Some of the mattes, I would say this one's okay. Yeah, we'll see how they work on the eyes. And then last but not least, we have the blush, which is in Made You Blush, and the highlight in Pure Soul. So Made You Blush is a nude rose blush. And I think this color is really pretty. And then Pure Soul is a shimmering champagne highlight. Okay, so first up in the palette, I'm going to go in with this shade, which is Made You Blush. It's the blush shade in here. I feel like this is so hard because it's reflective and I don't want my lights to blind you guys. But I'm gonna go in with my Morphe E4 and just pick up this shade. Okay, so right off the bat, there's so much fallout, which I don't really mind fallout that much as long as it's obviously pigmented. Okay, this is super pigmented. Okay, I really love this shade. I think it's so pretty. This is like the natural type of blush shade that I usually go for. So I do really like that. And then I'm going to go in with my Luxie 522 tapered highlight brush. This is my favorite highlight brush. I'm gonna go into Pure Soul, which is the highlight shade. Okay, this one has a little bit of fallout, but not nearly as much as the blush had. Like, it's only like a couple little things. Okay. It's a little bit, I think, icier than what I normally go for. I usually go for more of like a champagne, and it looks pretty champagne-y in the pan, but on my nose especially, it looks really icy in person. And then if you guys have been following me for any amount of time, then you know that I always set my face and then blend it back out. So I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And then I'm going to take my Eco Tool sponge and just tap this everywhere. And this just really helps all of my face makeup blend into my skin and just look really flawless. All right, so that's what the face makeup looks like. I actually really love the blush. The highlight, I do like it. I don't like it on my nose. I don't know why it looks so different to me on my nose than it does on my cheeks. I don't know. But I do like it on my cheeks, just not on my nose. I don't know, I'm weird. All right, let's move on to the eyes. First, I'm going to just try to set my entire eyelid, and I'm going to go into this one, which is Santorini Sands, and it's just like a matte bone shade. And this is just so that all of the other shadows will go on and blend really nicely. Okay, now I'm kind of trying to decide between using this one, which is High School Sweetheart, and using this one, which is Tea Time, as my transition shade. So the top one is High School Sweetheart and the bottom one is Tea Time. I think I'm just gonna use both of them because why not? We wanna test everything out. So first I'm gonna go in with High School Sweetheart, which is the lighter one, this bottom one. And I'm just gonna throw that into my crease. And then with the same brush, I'm just going to go into Tea Time and put this in my crease as well, just a little bit lower. All right, I like how that crease shade looks. I think it's really pretty so far. And now I'm going to go into Road Trip, which is this deeper chocolatey brown. And I'm going to use my Zoeva, this is the 231 Luxe Petite Crease brush. And I'm just gonna put this one into my outer V. Okay, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this. This fallout is insane. Like I said, I don't mind fallout that much, but that is quite a bit. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side and just put this into my outer V. I think that with how much fallout there is in these shadows, I would recommend doing your eye makeup first. Usually that's only the case if you're doing like a super bold look, but these shadows just have a lot of fallout. I feel like some of the brown on this side is still there. So I don't know. After I do finish the rest of my makeup, I'll see if I can still see it. If so, I might have to redo my under eye makeup, which will be a bummer. For my lid shade, I'm going to start out with Heart of Gold right here, and then we'll see. I'm gonna try doing it dry and then I will use it wet if I need to. A lot of shades like this, I prefer using them wet or even with my finger. Okay, yeah, this isn't really coming off that much. Okay, we're gonna do this wet. So I'm just gonna use that Urban Decay spray. Yeah, that is so much better. You just get so much more color payoff if you use your shadows wet. And it kind of gives it more of like a foiled look too. Okay, I really like the way that this is looking, but I do want to just darken up the outer V a little bit more. I feel like I lost some of that definition. So I'm just gonna go right back in with that crease brush into Road Trip. Okay, that looks a lot better to me. So now I'm gonna do my liner and mascara, and then I'll be back and we'll do the lower lash line. Okay, so I put eyeliner and mascara on, and now we're going to go in and do my lower lash line. Usually I just go back through the exact same steps that I did on my lid. So I'm just going to take this Real Techniques smudge brush and I'm just gonna go through the same steps basically. So I'll go into High School Sweetheart and I'll pop some of that on, and this one I'll go all the way across. And then I'm gonna go in with Tea Time, which was that transition shade. Lately I've been liking to kind of smudge it down and like blow out the lower lash line a little bit. And then lastly I'm gonna go into Road Trip, that more chocolatey brown. And this one I'm only going to take about halfway in. I'm not gonna go all the way in just because I don't want to close up my eye. Okay, so that is my full and completed look. I'm actually really, really happy with it. I think it turned out really pretty. The eyes, I think, are really gorgeous. I love the lid shade and I liked everything about it. I have a few thoughts on this palette. So first of all, I'm obsessed with the packaging. I think the packaging is gorgeous. If I was ever gonna do a palette, this is what I would want it to look like. It's really heavy, the packaging feels really solid and nice. The mirror is gigantic, and then the pan sizes are really nice as well. I loved the blush shade. I think it was really pretty and it was nice and pigmented. So I do think that it would work if you used a light hand for people with lighter skin tones, and then if you use a little bit more, you'd be able to build it up and do it and use it for a little bit of a deeper skin tone. But keep in mind, I am pretty fair, so I don't think that this would work for a very deep skin tone. The highlight, I did really like this. I liked it more on my cheeks than I did on my nose. So I will say that I think it would be better for lighter skin tones. It was a little bit too icy for me on my nose. I would still wear it because I think it looks really pretty on my lid or on my cheeks. And now that it's blended out and everything, I think it looks fine on my nose. So I think it's fine for me, but I don't think that this would work for somebody who had a skin tone that was really very much darker than mine is. As far as the actual shadow shades, I'm sorry that this is so glary. I can see it in my viewfinder that I just can't get the exact angle to show you guys and not have it be blinding you. So overall, I think that there's a few things missing in this palette for me personally. There's not a shade that's darker than this one, which is Road Trip. And I would have loved to have a darker brown or even a black so that I could build more definition into my outer V. I think with Aspen, I think it's on brand not to have a black, especially for this palette and the way that it's designed. So I think I would have just added a deeper brown. Other than having a deeper brown, some of the shades just were, I guess, a little bit too similar for me. Like, I do like High School Sweetheart, but after using this and using Tea Time, I would go into Tea Time any day of the week to use it as my transition shade before High School Sweetheart. High School Sweetheart is more one that if I was doing like a no makeup day, I would just throw that into my lid and that'd be the only thing that I would wear, which it would work for that, but so would Tea Time. So I think there's just a couple shades in here that are a little too similar for me, given that you only have 9 shades and, you know, 4 of them are shimmers. Yeah, I just think that they need one more that's like a little bit darker so that you can add some more definition or even use it as a liner. I like to use shadows as liners quite a bit. So in my opinion, there's a couple things missing. Overall, I did like it. There was quite a bit of fallout on some of the shades and there was a ton of fallout on the blush. So I would say if you're going to get this, it's one of those palettes that you'll have to do your eye makeup before you do your face makeup. And I will also say that since this is very, very neutral, that's up my alley because I don't usually do crazy wild makeup looks. But if you're into experimenting with color and stuff like that, then I think that maybe this palette is a pass for you. So for somebody that wears more neutral, like earthy tones, this is a palette that I can see myself using. And I could actually even see myself traveling with this, even though it's a little bit bigger and heavier. Just because I do think the blush and the highlight work for me, and then this has a lot of eyeshadows that I would wear on an everyday basis. So overall, for me personally, I like this and I would think that it's worth the money. But if you have a deeper skin tone, then I think maybe pass on it because I don't think that the highlight will work for you, and I also don't think that the blush, depending on how deep your skin tone is, I don't think that would work for you. I also think a lot of the shades, the eyeshadow shades, I think a lot of these would not really work for you either, especially as like a transition shade. There's just not a lot of variety there. So depending on what your makeup needs are, I think this could be a hit or it could be a miss, which I'm sorry, that's not just a definitive answer, blanket statement for everyone, but it definitely depends on your skin tone, how you wear your makeup, and what you are looking for to add to your collection. But I will say that I'm happy that I have it in my collection and I definitely will continue to use it. Alrighty guys, that is everything for this video. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know down below in the comments, are you picking this palette up? Are you gonna pass on it? Are you excited about it, or do you think that it's stupid? Let me know down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!